Today I want to share with you guys a sample menu of what I typically make for our family of 4. We're a super busy family. My boys are both in sports, so we have sports practices like 4 nights a week, like Monday through Thursday, and they're all like right around dinner time. So I find myself only having like maybe around a half hour to an hour to prepare a home-cooked keto meal for them. So I want to show you guys kind of a glimpse of some of the recipes that I make. So this is what I have planned for the week. Monday we're going to do a tri-tip with air fryer buffalo cauliflower. Tuesday will be steak tips with some noodles. Wednesday I usually have leftovers if we have leftovers from Monday and Tuesday. Thursday we're going to do skillet meatballs, and then Friday and the weekend are just going to be determined because I can't think that far out. But a good home cooked meal always starts with high quality ingredients. So let's go look at the door and see what I got in the mail. Today's video is sponsored by Thrive Market. I love shopping from Thrive Market. I've been a member for years, and it's where I get all of my keto staples. Everything that I keep in my pantry, all those basic keto ingredients from like almond flour, coconut flour, sweeteners, I get from Thrive Market. Some of the items I got in my Thrive box that I'm going to use in my recipes for the week is this buffalo sauce from Primal Kitchen. It is dairy-free. I'm going to use that in our air fryer buffalo cauliflower. I also got some beef broth that I'll use in my steak tips, as well as they carry spices too. If you guys want to try out Thrive Market, you can join today and get 25% off your first order plus a free gift. Just go to thrivemarket.com/KetoFocus. I'll have that link down below in the description box as well. Thanks again, Thrive Market, for sponsoring this video. So on the first day we had tri-tip, and I already seasoned this. This has actually been seasoned for 2 days. Went a little bit too long with the seasoning, but it was still excellent. We have garlic salt, pepper, and regular salt that we've seasoned this, and I'm just cooking it on the Traeger. Now to make the buffalo cauliflower. So like I said, I'm gonna use this sauce from Primal Kitchen. It had really good macros, and it's actually dairy-free. To go along with the sauce, I'm gonna use some butter. So I'm gonna melt a 1/4 cup of butter in the microwave, and then I'm gonna mix that in with my sauce. And for cauliflower, I'm just going the easy route with just using some florets. So I'm gonna add that to a bowl. I'm just using 1 bag, along with 3/4 cup of the buffalo sauce plus the melted butter. And then we're gonna mix it together until all of your florets are coated. Once they're fully coated, I am going to dredge these in some lupin meal. So this is about 1/2 cup of lupin meal. This makes the buffalo cauliflower super crunchy on the outside and tastes really good. It kind of almost has this like cornmeal texture and flavor, so I highly recommend it. You can do it without the lupin meal, or you could use almond flour too if you wanted. I actually prefer this lupin meal. It's really good. I'll have it listed down the description box where I purchased it. After these are all coated, we're gonna air fry them at 375 degrees for 10 minutes. And then when they're done, you just wanna drizzle a little bit more of that sauce so you can make up a little bit extra or just the plain buffalo sauce on top. And then, like I said, we grilled up the tri-tip. You could tell it was seasoned for too long because it has this weird discoloration, and the dog was really loving it too. And I just paired it with a salad and a little bit of ranch dressing for my buffalo cauliflower, and that was dinner. Super delicious. Up next, we're gonna make steak tips with a creamy mushroom gravy. So for the steak tips, I didn't have steak tips already pre-cut up at the store, so I just got some sirloin steaks that were on sale, and I'm just gonna cut them up into chunks. So if you don't have sirloin tips or anything like that, then this is what you wanna do, just cut them up into smaller chunks. once you have them all cut up, then we're just gonna season them with some salt and pepper. Make sure you get both sides. Next, we're gonna sear these in a hot skillet. So I'm just adding in a little bit of avocado oil and then heat that up to like a medium-high heat. Then add in your steak tips one by one, but leave some space in between them. You don't wanna overcrowd the skillet, because if you overcrowd it, your meat's gonna steam instead of sear. We want it to sear around on all edges, making that beautiful golden brown coat. This will help lock in the juices and the flavor. After all of your steak tips are cooked, then we're just gonna remove them from the pan, and then I'm gonna work by cutting up a red onion. So I'm just gonna use like about 1/2 cup or like 1/2 of a red onion and cut it into little diced chunks. If you don't have a red onion, you know, white onion, yellow onion, whatever onion you have is fine. And now back to our skillet, you can see those delicious little chunks in there of brown bits. We're gonna add a little bit more oil, scoop in our diced onion, and then I'm gonna add some mushrooms. So this is around 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms. I'm also gonna add in some garlic and a little bit of salt. And then I also am gonna add some fresh thyme. So I've headed over to my herb garden and I've plucked some fresh thyme out of that, but you could certainly use dried thyme if you want. Fresh thyme, you need like around like 1/2 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of fresh thyme. And if it was dried, I would not go past like 1/2 teaspoon because that's super powerful. And then we're just gonna cook this on the skillet. I actually had to leave to go pick up a kid from soccer. So I set this aside and then came back and cooked this on the skillet. But you wanna cook it until your vegetables have softened. And next we're gonna add in some of that beef broth that I picked up from Thrive Market. So you're gonna pour in 3/4 of a cup of beef broth along with some wine. So I'm gonna add in 1/4 cup of red wine. If you don't wanna add any wine to this, you could just omit this or just add a little bit more beef broth. And then some of that fresh thyme. Then we're gonna add back in our beef and let it braise, and we wanna cook it down until most of the liquid is evaporated, or at least until it's evaporated by half. And then we're gonna kill the heat and then add in 1/2 cup of sour cream and then some Dijon mustard. Now this dish you could serve over mashed cauliflower, but I'm gonna be using some noodles. So this is my favorite keto noodles. These are hearts of palm noodles. So I'm gonna add in 1 bag of these noodles in here. I'll have my favorite brand listed down below in the description box. And that's it, dinner's ready. I love this noodle dish. It is so creamy and delicious and savory. The whole family loves this. Up next, we're gonna be making the skillet meatballs. I'm gonna be using ground elk, but you can use any sort of ground meat, like ground beef, pork, turkey, chicken. All you need is 2 pounds. Next, I'm gonna add in 2 eggs, and then 1 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And instead of breadcrumbs, I like to use ground pork rinds, which is also called pork panko. I'll have my favorite brand listed down below in the description box. You'll also need 2 to 3 tablespoons of garlic, either minced garlic or garlic paste. If you're using any sort of game meat, the garlic is the key to getting the gamey taste out of the meat. You'll also need a teaspoon of each, which is salt, pepper, Lowry seasoning salt, and oregano. I'm also gonna chop up some parsley. You'll need 1/2 cup of chopped parsley. And if you guys are interested in this nifty chopper, I'll have it listed down below in the description box. And then I'm gonna pop on some gloves and then mix this together with my hands. Once it's fully combined, you want to roll it into around a 1 to 1.5 inch ball. If you do around a 1 inch size, you'll get 42 meatballs out of this. And then at this point, I had to leave again to go drop off a water bottle at somebody's practice because they forgot theirs. So I put the meatballs inside the microwave until I got back. I swear, the life of a sports mom, it's hard to get dinner on the table on time, or you're constantly getting interrupted. Whether it's racing off to practice, going to go pick up a kid, having them realize they forgot something, so then you have to take it to practice. It's like never ending. So that's why I'm so thankful for these easy keto dinners. Now that I'm back, it's time to cook the meatballs. So I have a little bit of avocado oil in here. And then again, working in batches, I'm gonna fry these up, spacing them about like a 1/2 inch or 1 inch apart, being careful not to put them too close so I don't steam them. Once all of my meatballs are cooked, I'm gonna add them back into the skillet and then pour in some marinara sauce. And the brand I'm using, I picked up from Thrive Market. This is their keto version. It's a low carb marinara. So I'm gonna add in an entire jar of that, along with some shredded mozzarella cheese. And then we cover it and let it cook until the cheese is melted and the sauce is heated. And then it's done. You can top this over those hearts of palm noodles or just eat it just like this.